Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Rebirth Podcast, the sit down edition. And I am your host, Lebohang Mutsile, the voice behind Rebirth Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you are returning, thank you and welcome and welcome. And then if you are new here, thank you for joining us. Please subscribe, please like, please share so that we can become a growing community. So let's get right into today's video. So as you can see the title, I am getting into the practical steps that I took for me to move out on my own when I was buying my first home. And the first video was about how I did it with God. These are the practical steps that I took. Now I'm sharing the practical steps that I took actually during that time. So let's get right into the video. So the first step that I took was that I lay-byed furniture. What was the reason behind me lay-buying furniture was because I wanted to train myself that this amount of money is going to go out of my account every month. What does that mean? It meant that I was willing to say, okay, for the sake of this video, I'm going to say 3,000. I was willing to let go of 3,000 on a monthly basis. So I wanted to train myself for the space of 10 months. I took out 3,000 to pay for my furniture. So I did not take it on credit. I did not buy it cash. I took it over a space of 10 months, which was 3,000 for 10 months. And another reason why I took that step was that it was my first time living on my own, so I literally needed everything from a bed to a fridge to a spoon to a plate. Listen, I had nothing. So I didn't want the pressures of moving on your own, paying for rent, paying for grocery, and also paying for furniture, having the stress of buying furniture. So I trained myself to buy furniture during the year that I was still living at home. So I was paying it off while it's at the shop. I'm living at home. When I moved to my place, I literally fetched my stuff from the shop into my new apartment. And step number 2, I got into a stokvel with a group of friends of mine where we were giving each other 1,000 rand a month. That 1,000 rand was training for me to be able to pay for the water and lights. Right? So initially, my brain, when my salary comes in, it says 1,000 rand is for stokvel. I trained myself for 10 months. The 1,000 rand is for stokvel. Moving forward, the 1,000 rand would be paying for water and lights. Of course, it fluctuates when you are actually paying for the water and lights. However, it's not that big of a deal. I am able to handle it because majority of it is around 1,000 something. So that is literally the steps that I took financially. And then with regards to grocery, I was already contributing to grocery at home. I just needed to add a little more because when you live on your own, some months you do buy grocery and some months you actually don't because you still have enough from the previous month. And I truly believe that that is grace for me to be able to carry on like that. And then another thing that I would like to mention is I believed I would get the FLISP, which is a South African subsidy for people that are buying homes for the first time. Child, the government. I have nothing more to say but the government. So I had thought that I was going to be able to get the FLISP. So I applied straight after I got my principle of approval. I applied for FLISP and they gave me a link. I applied online as well as via email. I had to send my documents to someone in FLISP. So I sent my documents. Everything was done on time, but child, I received a letter after following up so many times over so many months. After I even moved into my place, they told me that I was unsuccessful. But luckily, I had already taken the financial steps to make sure that I'm prepared to be living on my own, to be paying the amount of money that I was going to be paying for my bond. So that didn't hurt me, but you can try. You can try to apply for the FLISP. I'm not sure if you will be granted. If you should be granted, kudos. If you are not, unfortunately. But like every first time home buyer, I tried that out first, but it wasn't successful. But we move. So another practical step, that when it actually comes to the buying, I went online and looked for property. I essentially looked for bachelor pads because it was just going to be me and my 3-year-old son. So I looked for property and then I found it. And when I did find it, I sent through my documents to my agent to say, okay, you please watch the previous video about how I did it through faith, because you would understand why I had to give my documents to my agent instead of going to the bank. But essentially, the other way to go about it is you go to different banks and you go with your salary and you let them know, sorry, your bank statement that reflects your salary as well as your pay slip, and you let them know that you are interested in buying a home, and then they will let you know how much they are willing to offer you. And some banks will give you the principle of approval, which is an actual document that states how much they are willing to give you. And then after getting that principle of approval letter, you will then go and look for property. You will go to our different property sites and check out a property that is within that interval that the bank is giving you. Correct? Good. So another trick that I did was that the bank was offering me, let's say for instance, the bank was willing to give me 500,000. I chose to take a property that cost 300,000 because I did not want to drown, because the bank calculates your expenses, calculates how much you are going to be spending on a monthly basis. They calculate your monthly expenditure, and then they calculate how much you would be able to afford, what's the money that is left behind after that. So the bank had said 500,000, but I preferred to rather take, for instance, a property that was 300,000, so that it gives me that room to be able to afford other things. Because yeah, that's just it. Every time the bank says you qualify for 500, take 300. Make sure that you do not take the exact amount. So yes, those are the steps that I took. And when I did actually move into my property, I did not take anything from home. So literally everything came from the shop to here. And I also had a savings plan, which I was saving for my move, which means that my grocery and everything was taken care of on that first month, because I knew that it was going to be different than contributing to at home. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If you have more questions, please drop them in the comment section, and then I will respond. And then if there is anything else that I have missed, I will make another video, or if your questions are a bit more, I'll make another video and let's get informative. So that's about it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching this video. Please comment, please like, please subscribe, so that we can grow. Actually, when you like the videos and when you comment and share on the videos, it gives me more encouragement to make more videos. So I really appreciate it. Thank you to my subscribers, and see you on the next one. Bye.